When I first started, a lot of people, and the majority of my business was coming from people who were in the midst of it. And they're like, Rhonda, I've spent 10 grand on legal fees. I don't know what's going on. My attorney's not getting back to me. And again, not every attorney is, that way, but their role is legal. And so, the clients were, feeling really frustrated. So that's where, when I first started, that's where I would come in the middle of the movie and help them get it over the finish line. But now that we've been doing this long enough, and I think there has been a good amount of education around, hey, listen, you don't have to do it that way. There are better ways, and you can be proactive. Now I would say 80% of the people that reach out haven't filed yet. And I'm like, thank you. This is awesome because we can be proactive, and you can get prepared before you even file. And so that's been a really great shift. I always say people need at least three kind of essential team members: legal, financial, and emotional. And, for me, this is all I do, right? And I'm always learning something new. So I think a lot of times people want to oversimplify the financial aspect of the process. And I just take a real practical approach to it, which I think is really helpful. So having that core team. And then there are times when people might need to add on ancillary team members depending upon their situation. It might be the business valuation expert. It might be the forensic accountant. It might be the classic car valuation expert. There's a lot of different ancillary people, but my job is to help people determine, first of all, what do those people do? Does it make sense for your situation? How do you decide? And so there's a decision making component that I'm teaching the people that are either going through my program or that I'm working with one-on-one to say, okay, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. Because a lot of times I think people just throw out, oh yeah, you need a forensic accountant, but they don't actually know what they do. And maybe they don't need a forensic accountant. Maybe they need a business valuation expert. Or maybe some of the work that they need to be done, they could do some of it. And so, that's where I think a lot of that comes, into play. And my role is the strategy and strategizing around, okay, who do we need to pull in and what is their role and what are we hoping that the outcome will be? Not dollars and cents, but what are we looking to get? Are we looking for a report? Are we, and what type of a report are we looking for?
It's interesting too what you said about doing this before you file, maybe even before you tell your spouse that you want a divorce, because I feel like that is the first thing we think to do. I want a divorce. You spew it out. It's probably not a good feeling. He's getting a lawyer. You're getting a lawyer. So it's an interesting thing. It's not necessarily being like sneaky. I'm going behind their back. It's just being prepared, and it might even work out better for both parties. It sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for certain personalities, right, it's sometimes is difficult to feel like, well, I'm doing things behind the scenes and I'm not being transparent and honest. But at the end of the day, it's not that you're not going to share the information. I always look at it as it's just the timing. It's okay to get stuff prepared. It's not that you're not going to be telling them what's going on. It's just a matter of when you tell them. So it's not if, it's when. And I think that can just help, that mindset shift can help people get their arms around like, yeah, you know what? I need to be prepared.